In today's video, we're going to be going over free agents that are available for the Detroit Lions to sign after the 2025 NFL trade deadline has passed. Why is that? Because the Lions are always looking to pick up players to help out the roster. Just a couple weeks ago, we picked up Kendall Fuller, signed in the practice squad, released him. Why is that? Because the Lions are always looking for talent, and especially at the end of the season where players are banged up, you're always looking for players to help out. Before we get into that list of players who I think the Lions could look to, let's get into players who I think the Detroit Lions will and not at all sign that are current free agents, and that is Christian Wilkins, defensive tackle, Linval Joseph, defensive tackle, DJ Chark, former Detroit Lion, and wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. Why is that? Why don't I have the Lions picking them up? Because the defensive tackle position for the Detroit Lions is really good right now, especially the depth. You have DJ Reader, Tyleik Williams, and Aleem McNeil. The interior is doing well. That is great. And the Lions wide receivers are good as well. As a matter of fact, we're complaining that Isaac Tesla is not on the field more. And so we don't need wide receivers at that point. And we need our current wide receivers like Tesla to get more playing time on the field, and hopefully we see that in this game on Sunday when the Lions are traveling to face the Washington Commanders. It's a 4:25 game. I'm going to be live for the live stream watch party. Make sure you show up, as Lions are heavy favorites by 8.5. The total over and under is 49.5. And with all the injuries to the Washington Commanders and an update, sounds like Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell will be playing in this game. I have the Lions winning this game, but that is just me. What do you have? Do you have the Lions winning? Put L in the comments. Do you have Commanders winning? Put C. Let's continue on with players that the Lions should look to sign, and the biggest name free agent that everybody has been talking about is Asante Samuel Jr. He is the big fish, as he was cleared due to his medical issues. Now, Asante Samuel is a quality player, and we're going to talk about it right now here. Look, 5'10", 180 pounds. He's only 26 years old, heavily regarded coming out of the draft. It's not what he does on the field, it's injuries. And coming back from a significant one, what he did last year, 11 solo tackles and 2 pass defense before the injury that occurred. And Asante Samuel, healthy, is a baller. And imagine you putting up with DJ Reed and Ty and TA, everybody out there. The Lions would be killing it. But I got to tell you what, though, folks. There's a lot of teams that's looking for Asante Samuel right now. And matter of fact, these are the teams that's already reached out and or visited. Carolina Panthers, Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings, San Francisco 49ers, Chicago Bears, Pittsburgh Steelers. He is a hot commodity. So that is the only negative part when it comes to Mr. Jr. here, is because there's going to be teams that's wanting him, and that's going to drive his price up. Name a player you want the Detroit Lions to sign in the comments below. Next player that I have here is Stephon Gilmore. Yes, he is old in the tooth. He's played on many teams, but if the Lions need help, if there is injuries, this would be for something if there was some injuries. So don't think that this is something that they would do right now. But for a backup, say if TA goes down for a minute, or if Reed comes back, he goes down, we got a Meek, you can always bring back the Wiley vet, especially with the team that's trying to make a Super Bowl run. So these are options for Brad Holmes if there is injuries occur, like we've seen. And another option here is Kendall Fuller. Hell, we literally brought him on the practice squad for a little bit, so he learned some time. Could the Lions bring him back if there's several injuries? Well, of course they could do something like that. But now, look, let's keep it a buck. He was here. The Lions released him. They put in other corners in the game when we were out against the Buccaneers. So it seems like when it comes to Kendall Fuller, that may not be an option legitimately going, but they can't. He's familiar. Obviously, he was just here. What's good about these options, especially at the cornerback position, and we're going to get into another secondary player, is these are backup options if the Lions have injuries. Asante Samuel, to me, will probably be signed by another team because he's going to be a hot commodity. The Lions is not as much as need. But the other two so far is definitely options if injuries occur. And you need to understand, we've seen it last year, right? Players coming in and out. So they're in the secondary. There are options if the Lions do need help. It's a big if, but it is definitely something that can be done. And all you got to do is look at Spot Rack and you see some of these free agents. So I want you to, in the comments right now, just name one free agent you want the Lions to sign. It could be anybody. Just give me your thoughts in the comments. You guys are running the show today, right now. Next player that I have list is Justin Simmons, free agent. Now, he was known for playing for the Denver Broncos. The Lions are dinged up at the safety position. Kirby Joseph been dealing with a knee for some time, and it's not as healing as fast as the Lions would like it to. So if the Lions needed to get a veteran that could help out, most definitely Simmons is an option for the Detroit Lions, right? He is a guy that he's played high level, multiple teams, and he could be coming here at a pinch if the Lions need help at that spot. If Kirby Joseph, it takes a little bit of time, or again, we've seen where players come in and out, Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph, and others where they come back in, they're injured. So that could be something for the Lions as well. I think a lot of people would like him. He still, to me, has some decent production. Additional free agents the Lions could look at that are out there. We've seen some of these names before. That's James Bradbury, Cam Smith, Cam Sutton, who was a Lion, Emmanuel Mosley as well, John Bell, Marcus May, Eddie Jackson, and Jawan Bentley. Other options in regards to the defensive side of the ball or the edge in the running back position, even though we don't really need them out there, but you got Joseph Jewell, Isaiah Simmons. A lot of people loved him come out of the draft. DeMarcus Walker, James Smith-Williams, DJ Johnson, Dante Foreman. If there's some injuries that occur to our backs, in which I don't expect any of that to occur, because that would be butt cheeks. Let's get into a couple more players that the Lions could look at if they're trying to get some pass rush or a little bit of depth at linebacker. I know Malcolm Rodriguez is coming back, but you never know what could happen here. Eric Kendricks is on the market. He is a guy that can rush the passer a little bit with his 3 sacks last year, 71 solo tackles and 2 interceptions. He's a smaller guy, but that could be an option, again, if Malcolm Rodriguez, who is coming back, is going to be good. But if they want to get better at the depth, most definitely, right? He can do it. But let's get in more important positions, the edge position. How about Shaq Barrett? Shaq Barrett, we have heard about him many times because he can make some moves at the edge position. He's old, though. Very old. And I would suggest this if there are injuries. Injuries. That is it when it comes to him. A little bit old. A couple years ago, we bring an old vet in, he gets a sack, then we release him. That'd be a situation like that. Now let's get to an important position that I think is something we definitely should be talking about here. And how about Brandon Scherff, offensive line? Now, offensive line for the Lions has been very, very tough as of late. It has been. Right, we have some injuries there. They're looking right now to see who can fill on the interior. Well, you got Brandon Scherff, 33 years old, has a lot of experience. Free agent the Lions could eventually bring in, right? That could be an option. Big guy, 315 pounds. Don't look at the stats. That is not correct because clearly he's a lineman. But he is a guy that I think could be a plug-and-play. Graham Glasgow has not been good. He hasn't been good, and they're considering changing up the center position. Look, man, we need to get good at guard, and if he can help out, why? Why wouldn't you want to do that, right? And he played for a team that we're facing right now So who do you got winning on Sunday? The Lions or the Commanders? L's or C's? Give me your thoughts in the comments. Next player on my list here, we're going to go with Shaq Mason. You know, the Shaq Mason out of Houston right there. You know, he's a guy that can plug and play at the guard position if they wanted to get help, again, on the offensive line. Now, this would be a backup of the backup, because I think he's not that great. But beggars can't be choosers if we do have injuries start to pile up, right? It's just been one of those things, and we just got to wait. It's great that Miles Frazier is coming back, but once Mahogany comes back from his broken leg, we'll be good. It's about, I'd say till the playoffs, though, about 8 weeks, right? Broken leg. It's a little bit different from Aiden Hutchinson. Different type of break. Remember, breaks are not all the same. This was more of a fracture, so it could be something that'd be a little bit better. But look, if the Lions need help at the guard position, you got to go out there and get it. Brandon Scherff would be the option that I go at. You know, they just picked up a player from the practice squad who they really do like from Green Bay. There's other players on practice squads that they could look at as well. But, hey, the Lions they're always looking for talent, and we're going to continue to look for talent. This is what happens as injuries pile up and everything, because this is the NFL. And so will the Lions make some sort of signings if injuries pile up or whatever? Yeah, well, of course they will, all right? I mean, that's just what happens, but we'll see down the road if they make any moves in the next 8 weeks if injuries pile up. We've seen it before. Teams are doing it all the time, but there are options for Detroit if they do need some player acquisition and help there. So give me your thoughts. With that said, folks, adios.